All right, let's go ahead and call the Brimfield Township regular meeting of January 27th, 2021 to order at 8 a.m. Roll call for attendance, please.
All those in attendance, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue.
Yes.
We have a full board.
All right. We go ahead and take a moment of silence for prayer or meditation before the start of our meeting, please. Okay. All right. Let's start with announcements and correspondences. Mike, do you have anything?
I am good, Nick.
Okay. Sue, do you have any announcements or correspondences?
No.
All right. I don't have anything today either. We have no scheduled meeting guest at this point, so we'll move into meeting minutes. We need a motion and a second for last meeting.
So
I will
moved.
make that motion.
I'll second.
And we actually have two that are out there. So the 1-4 organizational meeting we need as well. And then the 113 regular meeting. You want me to put those both in the same motion?
Okay, I was not at
Mike,
the organization.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll have to do it separate. So the first motion was from Mike for the 113 meeting. Sue seconded that. I can't vote on it because I was absent for that meeting.
Okay. All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Abstain.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
And then I'll make a motion to accept the meeting minutes from the organizational meeting on 1-4.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor, Mike,
I think I have to abstain that one.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes.
motion passed.
All right. Need a motion to accept the agenda.
Okay, I'm gonna make a motion in the positive. But
All right, I'll
I
second
need to
for-
add something.
Yeah, we'll second for discussion. And then Mike, what do you need to add?
Under admin, I don't know if, I noticed we had that thing about the NOPEC grant. Has anyone done anything with that?
I have it sitting right here.
So do we need a motion to put it on there?
No, I just have to fill out my stuff and get it in there by the 30th of June. And then if we accept something from them, we have to make a motion to accept it, but not for me to fill out the
Yeah,
application.
I gotta read it a little bit more, but, what's the dollar amount we can
It
recover
was a
from
larger
that?
amount this time. 24,442.
Wow. You know, I mean, now we're just talking, but boy, it'd be nice to get maybe get an LED sign at one of the parks. Just a thought. So, okay.
All right. So do you
All
want to
right.
change the agenda?
No,
Okay.
if you already have it on there, I'm good.
Well, we
just don't-
don't. We don't have to do it until we accept it. I haven't filled out anything. I have until the 30th of June to get.
Yeah, I
it
just
on.
don't want to, I don't want to miss that.
No, I have it
Yeah.
sitting right here on my desk. I just haven't got it on the 14th.
Okay, well, maybe if we can leave it on there under admin, maybe discuss it for a minute.
Okay, so admin number 3 is going to be
NOPEC.
NOPEC grant.
Right.
Okay. Any other changes that you see, Mike?
It all looks pretty good to me.
Sue, do you have any changes?
No, we're fine.
All right, I would like to add under admin number 4, 2021-2022 recycling contract.
Okay.
Okay.
And then under, I think this would go under road department. Do we want to do that county road mileage approval today, John?
Yeah, we'll put that under.
So
roads.
number 6 is going to be county road mileage approval under road department.
Okay.
And that's all I have. Do the department heads have any changes they need added?
No.
Nick, I'll just add one just brief item. I'm just going to, under my report for informational, I'll just give you a brief update on the proposals that were received for towing services.
Okay. So number 5, update on towing proposals.
Nick, do you have the court documents on the terror case as well?
Yeah, they just came in, so we can talk about that. Let's put that under zoning, number
Yeah.
7.
That
'Cause we
came in.
need to approve those. Yeah, those came in late last night.
Yeah.
What is it? Number 7?
7 is going to be a consent judgment from Portage Court of Common Pleas.
Okay. So legal, or should we? Consent judgment.
Yeah, just a consent judgment. I don't think there'll be an executive session on it.
Okay, is that it?
Yep, sounds like it.
All right, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes,
Nick,
Yes,
Sue,
Yes,
and motion passed.
we need a motion to accept purchase orders.
I will make that motion.
second.
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes,
Nick,
Yes,
Sue,
Yes,
and motion passed.
right. Then we need a motion for the warrants.
I can make that motion also.
second.
Okay, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes,
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes,
motion passed.
And everybody should now have that court document too. I just emailed it to Sue and Mike. John, you should have had it from yesterday.
Okay,
Public comments or questions? Mike, do you have any public comments or questions that you'd like to read in today?
I have been out of the loop. I don't have any.
All right. Sue, any public comments or questions?
no,
All right. I don't have any either. Any safety concerns to address today? All
Not
right.
that I know of.
none.
All right. Hearing none, we'll move into the business portion of our meeting. Police Department, Roy, the floor is yours, sir.
Thank you, Nick. Just a couple of items this morning. I have a couple of informational items and one item that will require board authorization. Brief follow-up on the swearing in of our new officer. We ran into a bit of a curveball that was kind of beyond our control. We were looking to tentatively swear Ben Mars in this Saturday. However, his National Guard unit has been activated and he is being deployed to Washington, D.C. Right now, we're kind of targeting him being available for this probably around mid-March. So in my communications with him, we've just hit the pause button until that activation piece is over and then we can revisit this. So right now we're looking at the mid-March time period. That may adjust going forward as he may learn additional information or that deployment might change. But right now it's going to be mid-March. So we're going to hit the pause button temporarily on that. Other item I attached to my report, I just attached copies of some letters of commendation and recognition that were issued to our midnight shift officers. They assisted a woman who was stranded here in our community. Whenever these things get distributed in our department, I like to CC copies over to you guys as the board so you get an opportunity to see those things when they happen. Those are the things you don't really get a lot of fanfare about unless you see out in the public, but I like to make you aware of those things when they happen, and our folks do a good job on things like that. So there's a copy of that in my report for you to take a look at when you get an opportunity. The other item that's attached to my report is a activity report for the Talmadge JED, and that is comparing 2019 to 2020. I'll be curious to see what that's going to look like for 21 as the COVID-19 evolves going forward. But that's really an intent there is just to give you a snapshot of activity that drives the police department's presence down in the Talmadge JED. So did you have any questions about that today, or when you get an opportunity to take a look at it? I just wanted to put it into your laps for review.
Okay. Yeah, I just started looking at it, so give me a couple of days, Roy. I might reach out to you with some questions.
Yep,
but
that's fine.
No, I appreciate the comparison because I know that's one thing that's been on my mind is how the JED is being impacted by all these different businesses.
Yep, I just wanted to put that in your laps for review. If you have any questions on that, feel free to reach out to me.
Okay.
Update on the towing proposals. Really, the update today is just to let you know we ended up receiving 3 proposals for the towing services. One was from Phil's Towing in Talmadge. The second was from Greg's Towing in Akron. They're located out on 224. And the third was Complete Service Center and Towing over in Roachtown. So right now, I'll be reviewing those. By myself and Captain Atkins will be going through a review of those. And sometime in February, I'll be coming to you with a recommendation on selection for that. So there'll be a follow-up piece next month. I think we're tentatively targeting March for this to go into effect. So that's where we're at right now on the proposal piece. And that's an update on that. Any questions on that for me? Okay.
Marlboro wasn't interested, huh?
No, I didn't receive a quote from them.
Huh.
Or I'm sorry, a proposal, yeah. Just one item to require board authorization this morning. That's our 2021 Kent State Communications Services contract for the police department. That is in the amount of $69,902. John, that contract didn't come to me at the police
I got
department. Looks like that came straight to your office.
Yep, I got it over here.
Okay, that's a slight increase over last year. Last year's was $68,531.
Okay.
I'll just need board authorization to process that.
So I'd like to make a motion to accept the communication service contract between Kent State University and Brimfield Township in the amount of $69,902.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Okay, motion passed. Roy, I'll get that together for signatures and all that, and I'll get you a copy of it.
Okay, I appreciate it. That's all I have this morning, unless you have any questions for me.
Just under police, I just wanted to bring this up, Roy. I know you and I talked briefly about it, but I wanted to bring the rest of the board up related to the COVID vaccine. But I wanted to touch base with you first here. Have you been contacted yet for vaccination of the officers?
I've received an email from Robert Walker through the Portage County Health Department. Right now, they are tentatively, and I'm going to emphasize the word tentatively, targeting the end of February, but that is very much a ballpark. I'm hearing other counties are getting their police to maybe looking at March, April. So the most recent information I have from Bob is they're targeting the end of next month. As I know more, I'll let you know, but that's the most recent information I have.
And they're still saying under release 1C, not 1B, correct?
Correct. Yeah, 1C.
So just to let the board know, I have reached out on this issue. I've talked with Commissioner Bennett about it. She talked to the health director. The health director said, per Governor DeWine, he is not allowed to release it to police officers until they get the 65 and over and teachers vaccinated first. I've talked to Gail Pavliga, our new state rep. She's had some communications with the governor's office on this. She's still waiting for feedback. Diane Grandel out of the Northern District, the state rep, has also reached out to the governor's office, but has not received any feedback from his office on this concern. And then I've also had preliminary conversations with Anthony Gonzalez's office. He has reached out to the governor, and I'm waiting to hear back from his legal team on that because they have concerns with this too. The concern being that police were not considered first responders. And so therefore they did not get the vaccine when the fire department and EMTs and nurses got it in round 1A, and they're being bumped back to 1C for vaccination. Even though they're first responders, they're on the calls, they help with med calls routinely. I think it's a concern, at least for me and for our employees here. So I would like to.
What bothers me is I wonder how many of these elected officials already are sitting there with their vaccine. Like DeWine, who probably sits in his little office by himself, and he and his wife have probably been vaccinated. It just pisses me off. It's amazing how all these elected officials sneak in this thing, and our first responders, who are the cops, cannot get a vaccine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm frustrated with it. Diane or Gail Pavliga did reach out to, I believe it was Erie County or Lake County, and they were able to start vaccinating their police officers, and here's how they did it. Whenever they give the vaccine, a vial has X amount, let's say it has 10 shots in it. If only 8 people show up, that leaves 2 empty, that leaves waste of 2 shots. What they did was they put the police on a call list, and they would call and say, hey, we got 2 shots. Can you be here in the next 2 hours? Vaccinate 2 of your officers. And they were able to start vaccinating them earlier in the process without going against the governor's order. I would like to see our health department do that. I don't know if it's something that we need to draft a letter and reach out to, but I would just like to at least see
I
this
think we
off.
should, Nick.
Well, before you do that, just to
I think
clarify, yeah, it's a great point. I appreciate that feedback. The Ohio Association of Chiefs of Police has already addressed this for the governor, as has the FOP of Ohio, and also the Portage County Police Chiefs Association has been in communication with Mr. Walker, reference this issue too. So those concerns are being addressed and shared by the appropriate parties for sure. Whether that's going to change anything, frankly, I don't know. Probably not. But those concerns have been addressed.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find a way.
Hey, Nick.
Squeaky wheel gets the oil sometimes, right? So I don't know if we just make enough ruckus if it gets some attention to this. Because honestly, when I first had this conversation, Commissioner Bennett and Gail Pavliga, our new state rep, neither of them were aware of that. They were under the assumption police had gotten it in round 1A. So it was bringing this to their attention was the first piece.
Hey, Nick, have they received their shots?
They didn't. I did not ask that question.
I think I'll text Sabrina. I probably don't want the answer.
Right.
So,
But I wanted to bring it to the board's
or
attention.
maybe I do.
So that we were all aware and on the same page with this. I just don't think it's fair to our officers. We ask them to do their job, and we can't give them what they need to do their job the safest way possible.
Just as an FYI on that, doesn't have to do with the police, but it has to do with the general immunizations. I'm going to bring it up at the Thursday meeting so that maybe we can do some communication on our sign or on our website of locations where in the process of how you get on a list for the seniors that are out there. I know that's been a struggle for a lot of them figuring out what they need to do and where they need to go. Giant Eagle, CVS, Drug Mart, Cleveland Clinic all have little programs where you can get in and get the immunization. So I want to talk about that on Thursday with our admin meeting, just how we put that out on the sign or whatever.
Okay.
And John, you said some places are ending up throwing away vaccines.
They are.
Right?
They have that similar program that that Nick was talking about in regards to CVS. They have a friends and family program and they have like a 2-hour window where they think they're going to need 100 immunizations, but they only get 90. So they'll call those people on that list and tell them to get out to that location so they don't have to throw them away, because they do have a shelf life. So that's out there. There's a couple of seniors that have been struggling through a lot of this, and one of them did a lot of investigation of all the places, and luckily he's getting a shot tomorrow. So I'm using his work a little bit.
I just asked Sabrina the question if they got their shot. She read it, but she's not replying.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
So-
yes.
Is there, Craig, maybe you know the answer to this question. Is UH here in Kent doing the immunization?
The only correspondence I've had, and that's kind of in my next part, but I'll go into it if you don't mind.
That's fine.
I'll just go straight into mine if Roy was done. Okay. And I'll jump down. That's talking about number 2. Over the next few weeks, they have rolled out who is available to do the shots, but our correspondence is only been with Portage County Health Department. So I don't want to speak out of turn, and I've heard the Giant Eagle, and then I've heard people call and they say, we don't know what you're talking about. People have been calling here and saying, the news said the fire department's giving it. No, we're not. So there's a lot of information out there that I don't know what's true, and I would be cautious to put anything out there beyond what the health department has provided us. If that
Just an
Commissioner-
FYI with the Giant Eagle thing, I actually went out onto their website yesterday, and it's out there. You just have to get there in the morning.
Hey, the commissioners have not received their shots yet.
Okay. I would be, and the only reason I asked Craig about who's doing it, I would be interested in trying to communicate with them because of their friends and family program. If we could get the police put on that list, at least get our officers here in Brimfield potentially on a call list for the waste.
And then I don't know what you're asking me. You mean for what list?
So let's take UH here. Let's say they were doing it over at Crystal over by Bob Evans and Mike's place.
Yeah.
If they were giving the immunization there, if they open a vial and they got 10 shots to give and only 6 people show up, they got 4 that's going to get wasted.
Okay.
A lot of the agencies have been calling to say, hey, we have these 4 shots. You're on our call list. If you can be here in 2 hours, we'll give you the immunization. I would
The
like to
last-
see if we could work with the local.
Last correspondence I had, UH was not doing
Okay.
it. So just to jump in on that one.
Okay.
So I know
I'm
that.
just looking for anywhere we could make that contact. If we can't get help from the county, then maybe we try it ourselves just to get the officers on a wait list somewhere.
If I hear of anything, I will let Roy know.
Okay.
Okay.
With that being said, we did get our round of COVID shots in round 1A. We received our second dose here last week. Out of 11 participants, only one of them did not get sick, me. Everybody else got sick immediately. So I don't know how that falls down to everybody else, but they were miserable after the second shot. It's like they had COVID. So I don't know. I thought that was pretty big odds to be one out of 11 didn't get sick. So I don't know. With that being said, when the police officers get it, you might want to stagger it. You know, I had it once, and I was able to cover with the 4 members that did not choose to get the shot, but everybody else is sick.
Yeah, we've talked about staggering that or putting it in advance of days off. Yeah.
Right. So we're through our round. The only other thing I had was going back to the COVID shot. There are ages 80 down to 65, and teachers are in the 1B, and that's getting released each week. You can call the Portage County Health Department. That is the information I know is true out there. So, and whether we put that on the sign or whatever, we can decide.
Anything we can do to help people.
Yeah, I mean, all we can do is provide them the information. They still have to individually call and set their own schedules up.
Well, since I'm 75, I'm waiting. I've listed in 4 different places and I'm still waiting for somebody to call me and say, come on in.
Well, that's what you got to do. You got to put yourself on a list, and then they contact you back and say, here you go. So
All right.
for us to help people, we can only provide the information, I believe.
Yeah,
Good
I just think
information too.
I'm not going to schedule your time for you. I mean, that's on you. So,
no, and I wasn't thinking that on the sign either. I just think that there's a lot of people out there that don't have computers they don't know where to even go. They don't even know what to do. And I've been running into a lot of that here.
And John, that is so true. My son's girlfriend is a pharmacist at Giant Eagle, and she said it is so disheartening when these old people come in and they don't know how to get on these lists. And there's nothing that she can do because they want them all to go through the computer. She said it's terrible.
Right. So if we can help in any way with that stuff, or at least giving them information on what to do, and hell, if there's anybody out there that they can come over and I'll show them how to log on, if that's what they need to do. So, but I just think we need to be more educating of the people in Brimfield that maybe don't know as much as we do about it. And we know, but we still don't have the answers to everything either. So
I do know that Myers is making up a list that you have to be signed up on.
Yep.
But they don't have any shot stuff yet.
right. Yep. So I'll talk about that on Thursday. Maybe we can figure out
Okay.
something we can do.
Okay.
Okay, moving on, movement on the station admin building is moving. I know it seems slow, but we are getting progress done. At some point here in the very near future, we'll have station colors and decisions that I'll want the trustees input on. We'll have some pallets here for you guys to come look at and kind of.
And I'm still on hold, Craig, right until we get a total cost. And that's what you guys are working on now, right?
On what?
On a total cost,
Of what?
the building.
Yeah.
We have to have an item to send into the USDA. That's what I thought you guys were working on now, is doing all the architecture and picking everything.
I am, but I'm working on 10 other things too on the back end of it. So
Okay.
as soon as I hear back that the contract's good to sign, then you'll know you're in.
Right. Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
And that's all I had with the fire department. What's going on?
Okay.
And for admin, only a few things I had real quick was a reminder of Thursday, we have a meeting with admin staff. Sure, wanted to remind the admin, it will be here at the fire station. I forget what time we said.
2 p.m.
2 p.m. And that would include Nick and nobody else, because then it would be a meeting. So I'll let you guys know.
Am I not going, or?
No, you can go,
Okay.
but I can't have more than
Right.
one lead for the decision. So Nick being over that admin, he should be there. So, and that's all I have on that.
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry, I do have one more thing. Admin IT parks, start thinking about your budget requests for 2021. Because we will be sitting down very soon with budgets, and any requests you're looking at or projects, we need to know those prior to setting the budget.
Just an FYI on that as well, we're at the fiscal office going to try to get all of our stuff done next week so we can start passing it out to departments, what numbers you have.
Yep.
Okay. Roy, did you hear that?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
All right.
That's all I have.
All right. Admin number 3 then would go to Mike Kostinsky, NOPEC grant. I know you wanted to talk.
I mean, that NOPEC grant, when we had it before, was very valuable because that's how we got the solar panels and the electric sign and all that. So we really need to think of some things that can really impact people. Right away, I thought maybe another light up sign like Kent has for their park and recs department, you know, maybe, I don't know, maybe put one by Cranberry Creek, or I don't know where we could put it, but I think it would be a great way for just Cassie to get some of her information out, you know, not have it all mixed up with community thing, you know what I mean? Okay. So that would be one of my suggestions.
What, is there any restrictions on the grant in their documents of what it can and can't be used for? Because I didn't see that document.
If it's like the last one, it has to be energy saving. And we were, I don't know, Nick, if you remember the old board that used to be up there before, which was just fluorescent lights, and we had to go out and change it manually. That easily fell within the guidelines. But like I said, this it is a new NOPEC grant, so we do have to read it. But you know,
I can read it here right now. I have it.
Okay.
Grants can be used for government, residential, and commercial properties. Here are some examples of what you can use the grant dollars for: LED lights, traffic signal upgrades, insulation, energy efficient windows, solar powered LED stop signs, energy efficient air conditioners, electrical upgrades, generators, door replacements, LED lighting upgrades, service garage installation, energy efficient metal roof systems, installation of radius ceiling fans, energy efficient kitchen appliances. Those are just some of the things they put on their list. But it's pretty much anything that has to do with saving energy qualifies for it.
Yeah, and I know we did a lot with it last time. Maybe we can put some solar panels on the police department. Who knows?
Well,
I have a suggestion. The new entrance, brick entrance things we're building as you come into Brimfield. What about some, I'm sure that's going to have some lighting on it, so you can at least see it at night. I don't know if you want to consider putting electricity on those lights or working that into that project. Just a thought.
Idea as well. Yeah, I'm not sure how fast all this goes because I think these signs are going to be sort of fast tracked, right?
Yeah, they're by the end of the year. It's all going to be. It has to be all spent by October 31st.
Well, we don't have to make a decision today, but it's worth looking into.
Well, and you know, just the one thing I heard in there that we could consider too, I know there's been some discussion in the background about a generator for the community center because that's a second operation place for us. So I don't know if this funding could be used to help look at.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Nick.
Because I mean, that's our meeting location now because of the construction process too. So being able to maintain operations there is important.
You know what? Maybe I'll have Cassie or somebody also reach out to Graphic Detail to get an estimate on a LED sign. you know, just so we have some numbers. I just know when I drive down 59, I always read the one that the Kent Park and Rec has, you know, which is sort of,
Sure.
Yep.
so. Yeah, let's, I mean, we can definitely look into this because, you know, we are going to have that new road where Wanda's house is, you know, maybe that would be a nice spot for another sign, you know, because we do get maximum traffic there. But I
Right.
would like to see whatever just earmarked definitely for Park and Rec, you know, so it doesn't get confused. So, okay, well, we can talk about it later.
Okay. No, thank you for putting that on our radar, and we can start to look at some ideas.
Okay.
All right, admin number 4. I'm just going to toss this out here. I don't know what the board wants to do with this. 2021-2022 recycling contract. On June 30th, our recycling contract expires again. If you remember, we signed a 1-year extension with them, or a 1-year new contract with them, so that the Board of Commissioners could put together their recycling plan for the county. Because of COVID, they've not been able to do anything with that. They've held no public hearings. So we're going to be outside of a contract again and back into this whole mess. Do we want to reach out to Bill Steiner now and ask him to send over a proposal? Do we just want to let it sit and let them figure it out? How do we want to handle that?
Maybe we go through Sabrina and tell her to reach out. That's her employee.
Yeah, I mentioned it to her the other night. I said, hey, it's almost February 1st. I don't want to be looking at a contract the day of that it needs to be signed. We need some advance notice. And she didn't seem, there was no real response to it.
I don't think Bill's waiting on any Christmas cards from you, so. Depends if you want to piss him off, if you.
Well, I just don't want us as a board having to deal with this on June 29th that he hasn't sent us a contract. I mean, because I can guarantee you, because the conversation we did have about recycling is that they're still losing money. They're losing a lot of money. So we can anticipate a price hike. How much? I don't know. So how soon do we want to deal with that?
Well, I think we need a paper trail, Nick. You know, I think we need a paper trail.
Well, I can send an initial email and say, hey, we know our contract's ending on X date. Please send us your proposal for 2021, 2022, 1 year. Are we looking at a 1-year contract again, or what do we want from him?
Well, could you CC all of us and Sabrina
Yes.
and the new commissioner?
Yes.
Or whoever?
Yep. No, we'll CC everybody, but what do we want to ask? Are we asking for a 1-year contract? What do we want to ask for? Because originally we thought we were out of this because it's really the commissioner's problem.
Well, I don't want to lock into anything when they all of a sudden come back and change something down the road. Why don't we just do it year by year?
Okay.
Because it is the commissioner's responsibility. So
Right.
I don't want them to change something for the greater good of everybody and we got a 5-year contract and they won't let us out of it. You know what I mean?
Right.
That makes sense.
Okay. So I'll just ask him to submit a proposal for a 1-year contract starting July 1 of 2021.
Okay. That works.
And I'll CC everybody on that.
Okay.
All right. That's all I had. Is there anything else under admin?
I think we got it.
All right. If not, zoning and economic development. The floor is yours, Mike.
Thanks, Nick. The virtual Board of Zoning Appeals hearing is February 17th at 7 o'clock. Zoning Commission is February 11th at 7 o'clock. The new fee schedule proposed for 2021 is attached. I don't know if anybody got a chance to take a look at it.
I looked at it briefly.
And if you guys wanted to vote on that today, or do you want to wait? It's up to you guys.
I would like to at least get it on the floor to start talking about it. So I'll make a proposal to accept, or I'll make a motion to accept the proposed zoning fee increases for 2021.
I'll second that for discussion.
All right. So Mike, walk us through this. Well, what was the reasoning? How did we get to the proposal for changes?
So they have not been changed. The fees that you see that are lined out and they're in red, the proposed fees have not been changed since 2004. It might have been a little bit earlier than that, but we could date it back to 2004 was the last time they were updated. Looking at that, some of them were out of kilter with the duplexes and the triplexes compared to the single family dwelling. We upped the single family not too long ago, a couple years ago, I believe. So just wanted to get everything back in line. Looking at the 10,000 square foot and under for businesses, it didn't make sense to have that price less than a new house. So up those fees as well. Just try to bring everything into line with the surrounding communities. For example, our deck, fence, pool permits, accessory buildings, they're all $25 right now. They have been, we were bumping that up to $50, and that's pretty typical for at least a deck or a fence.
Okay. And this is in alignment with other townships and cities, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And if we were to pass this, how is it effective immediately, or is there a delay to this, like a grandfather period?
Yeah, that would be effective immediately. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it makes sense.
Yeah, I think occasionally we have to review these things and just make sure we're in alignment. Is the cost of operating a business goes up, so do our costs. So these are pieces that we just need to stay on top of, and I don't want it to sit for too long and have to astronomically raise those. I think small increments are better. Sue, any feedback on the zoning fees?
I think Mike's done a really good job of preparing this fee increase. It's all right here in front of us. He's reviewed it with us and we've talked about it. I would just like to make a motion that we go ahead and accept it today.
All right, so the motion's on the floor.
I'll second.
Already got one out there. You just want to do a roll call?
Yeah, just a roll call then.
Okay. All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Okay, motion passed.
Thank you. So I have some reappointments for the year for zoning commission. I have Tom Sargent for the next 5 years pending a background check.
I will make that motion that we reappoint Tom Sargent to zoning commission for 5 years.
I'll
Second.
second that.
Okay, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Approved.
I have a reappointment of Colette Welesnick for zoning commission and alternate, and that's a 1 year pending background check.
I'll make that motion to appoint to the zoning, you said zoning commission for 1 year alternates.
Yes.
Okay, I don't,
I'll second.
okay, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Motion passed.
And I have a reappointment of Seth Halen to zoning commission alternate, 1 year pending background check.
So move.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Okay, I have a reappointment of Bruce Nippingberg to the Board of Zoning Appeals for 5 years pending background check.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
For discussion, how many years has Bruce been on the board?
You know, I look back, we were just looking at minutes and he was on in 2003, so it's been a long time.
It's been a while. Ray must be doing okay.
He's doing good. Yeah.
I've heard no complaints.
No, absolutely not.
No, I hear a lot of positive feedback on Bruce. He does a great job there.
He does.
Really helps drive that board. So it just keeps everybody on task. He does a great job with that. Okay, roll call.
Okay, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue?
Yes.
Motion passed.
Then I have a reappointment of Clayton Popick to the Board of Zoning Appeals as an alternate for 1 year pending background check.
All right, I'll make
I'll
that
make
motion.
that oh, Nick, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
Sue, you seconding?
Yeah, I'll second that.
Okay, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
yes,
motion passed.
And I have a reappointment of William Kramer to the Board of Zoning Appeals as an alternate for 1 year pending background check.
I'll make that motion.
second,
All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
yes,
motion passed.
Next thing on my list is the zoning commission has sent to the trustees the zoning amendment for Brimfield Development Land Company LTD to change RO zoning to IC zoning along with regional planning suggestions. And this is for the Maple Crest West. General commercial is in the front of this, and they were looking to change to IC behind the GC. There's one little section that regional planning has on the maps that is zoned RO as well. It's a little spot that was right where the county pump station is, that the
Okay.
county would like to see that as general commercial and just keep it consistent. I mean, it's not going to make much of a difference other than, you know, keeping everything the same zoning district in that area. But what I need today is to set a public hearing and a meeting for this.
All right, so the question is, in order to do this, we need to have a public hearing so that we can make the public aware of what we're doing, hear any feedback from them, and then we would vote on it at the next trustee meeting following that public hearing. Do we want to do the public hearing early in the morning prior to a trustee meeting, or would we rather do this in an evening? I'm up for suggestions from everyone.
I'd do it early in the morning.
Mike, I don't think you've received a lot of feedback on this, have you?
No, I have one letter from Vince Murdaco, who's the president of the HOA of Just Cricket, who was absolutely for this zoning change.
So, and I think with these being virtual, people can't come speak anyways. So I think we just advertise it well and let people know if they have concerns that they should submit in writing like they do with the Board of Zoning Appeals. And we'll read that into official record as part of our public hearing.
Correct.
All right.
Our next trustee meeting would be what, the 11th?
February 11th. Yeah. So I'll make a motion to set the public hearing for February 10th. February 10th.
Is that our next, is that next Wednesday? All right, 2 Wednesdays from now? What's the
Yep.
date?
Yep. Today's 27th.
4 and 11.
well,
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Wednesday's
Sorry.
the 10th,
Sorry, I was skipping the 31st. Sorry.
So yeah, I'll make a motion to set a public hearing for zoning amendment changes for February 10th at 7:45 a.m.
Okay. I'll second that.
Okay, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
yes,
motion passed. Mike, is Lauren going to get together with Kirsten to get the advertising information over to her? So we
Yeah,
have it
right
all right?
after- Right after this meeting, I'll have her do that.
Okay, all right, thanks.
And
And
then,
Mike, can you and Lauren put together just a small proposal of what it is so that we can get it out on social media or our website so the public can see the exact changes, what it currently is, what it would become. That way we give them a fair opportunity to give any feedback.
yep, we'll put the drawings and the maps right online.
Okay, thank you.
And then last but not least is it finished up the 2020 Economic Development and Zoning Year-End Report. It's extensive. It's got everything we did last year in here.
Mike, that was amazing. That was an
Thank-
amazing report.
Thank you so much.
You need to write books or something. That's just, I'm still reading it.
Yeah, there's a lot of information in there. It updates on every aspect from economic development to all of the court cases to the zoning that we did in 2020 and prior years that, you know, some cases were not ended yet. We're still waiting at court dates, but we're slowly getting them. Nick and I were in court, and you'll see the next thing on the list is this Terra case.
I mean, it's sometimes, you know, some of these reports just don't have enough information. This report was so comprehensive. I mean, I learned a lot. So
Oh,
I
good.
appreciate you and Lauren doing that.
Thank you. Yes, you did a wonderful job pulling this together.
Amazing.
Lot of information to type in too, so.
Yeah.
But the next item is the Tarek item from Portage County. And this is a consent judgment. I originally cited this in June of 2018. We finally got a mediation together with this. The mediation went well. Nick was present, like I said. And, you know, we have agreed that they will finish June 1st of 2021. Everything will be removed, all the junk, the fences, fixed, and all the appliances and other items that are stored out in this guy's backyard, from abandoned vehicles to you name it, will be cleaned up by June 1st. Otherwise,
Where's the address of this?
this one is on Estes,
Oh, okay. Okay.
4695. It's right on the corner. But it's been a problem with the neighbors, and we've been sending them violation letters, and the prosecutor sent violation letters, and we finally got him into mediation to agree to what he's going to clean up. So,
Okay.
Yeah, so he's going to clean the property, but he's also has to license his vehicles. So he has, I think, 2 abandoned vehicles on the property. He's got to go get actual plates for those to plate those so that they're in compliance then. And then lastly, he's going to be picking up court costs. So the cost for mediation, this court cost, would be on the property owner. But to do this, we need to make a motion and approve it. And then all of us need to sign this over at John's office and then get it back to the courts.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion to accept the consent agreement with the, let me actually word this right for you, John.
Okay.
I make a motion to accept the consent judgment for case number 2020 CV 0377.
2020 CV
0377.
77. Okay.
Okay. I'll second for discussion.
So basically he has till June to get everything cleaned up. If not, then the courts can start imposing fines upon him for being in contempt of court and not following the orders. So it's been a drawn out process, but now that gives us an ability to get this property cleaned up properly.
Okay.
All right. All those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
Yes,
motion passed.
okay, that concludes everything I have. Thank you.
Any questions for zoning? All
Hey,
right.
Mike, real quick, can you give a brief update on what's going on at the Old Green Hills Golf Course?
Yeah, so that is Redwood. It's just like Prescott Pike. Redwood is going in there. They're going to be a little bit more architecture features on this set going in there. I did issue a stop work order last week because they didn't pay the permits. There was a little bit of confusion with what was going on and who was paying what. But they are taking care of that now. They're going to start the preliminary fees, and the first set of fees should come in by the end of this week, and then the remainder of all fees will be paid by the end of the month. This is a big fee for us, so we're definitely welcoming the fee section to this, and the homes will look good back in there. And then I do have the rest of the development was supposed to be residential homes on the outside perimeter, as well as an assisted living center in the back. I don't think those are going forward right now, as the Pitts family and Mike Wino can't come to an agreement on that. So I think the Pitts are going to retain that property. They're still looking at a residential development around Redwood and around the perimeter of that, but we're going to be also talking to them about getting and obtaining some of the land for cemetery.
You said they're going to start putting up a few model homes, or
These are going to be the Redwood
Right.
homes. Yeah, and they're higher end rentals. They're going to start right around 1,500 a month and go to 2,000 a month. They're actual homes, 2-car attached garages. So
but they are rentals, huh?
they are rentals.
They're all gonna be rental?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
But they're a higher end.
Okay.
They have a pretty good personnel that comes with them, that follows them around. Typically 55 and older. For the most part, they don't it's not mandatory, but it's typically 55 and older.
Okay.
Other questions? All right. Thank you, Mike. Hearing none, road department, Dave, floor is yours.
Oh, morning, everybody. I just want to go over a few things and then I'll get to the request for the board. We went over to the dog park and we shut one of the gates off at the dog park and made it just like a man gate to get in and out. That way it doesn't do the sagging and fall apart. We're going to put an equipment gate in there later in the spring where we can get mowers in for people don't go in and out of that. And we know it gets locked shut, so we won't have the problem with the sagging of the gates. The Jamie Lane sign, we put it up over at Arcadia and Brookdale. So that sign's up and in view now. We just got another 200 ton of salt in yesterday, getting ready for the next batch of storms. We've been working on the flags for the telephone poles for like Memorial Day and stuff in between like stuff with rain and that. We're getting the flag poles all ready to go for in May. We've been doing some maintenance on dump trucks. We've been cleaning off some catch basins again. We got a bunch of leaves on them, trash, that kind of stuff. So we've been clearing them off. We're working, actually, I had them start today. They're working on a fence here at the park, Lions Park, for, we're going to put the fence up in front between my driveway and the playground equipment. And we're extending the parking lot a little bit here too. That way there's a little more room for parking. So we're out here working on that right at the moment. I just want to let the board know that we have been approved for the Howe Road OPWC project. So I just got that information yesterday afternoon. The county, we're working on, we're going to have to get a consultant firm in, just like we did with the other projects on Malloy and Selnick. I have to get somebody to design the project out like GPD did last year. Is anybody, I mean, I'm fine if GPD does it again, designs our project. I don't know if anybody has complaints with that or not, but we're right now in that stage of we'll have to find out somebody to do the drawings and the engineering of it. So just wanted to get that out and let everybody know. Yesterday I had Kuntzman's Tree Service come out to the Wrestling Cemetery, and I need the board's approval to remove the one big tree in the center that's dead. Plus, I want to remove one other tree that is half broken from another tree that fell on it before it falls over on some of the headstones. So I figured I'd get two things in one shot. The one tree alone, and this will be stump grinding everything to remove everything. The one tree, the big main tree, and right by the entranceway is $1,000, and the other one would be $500, so around $1,500 for both trees.
Okay.
I mean, I know that's underneath the $2,500 thing, but I just wanted to let the board and everybody know and see if you guys are all right with me going moving ahead with that or not.
Well, we have another section under cemetery, Dave, where if we approve all that, we're just all going to go together.
Okay.
Sounds good.
After that, that's all my report.
Well, but both of those trees though, Dave, are safety hazards right now, correct?
Correct.
So even if we didn't approve anything with the cemetery, we still got to take those down?
Yes, I'm still going to have them removed because like we had the one tree that fell down and hit the other one, and it actually knocked one headstone over. I'm waiting for Portage Marble to give me a price of putting that back up. It's one of the older stones that are, about 4 or 5 feet tall with the, I don't know how you say it, with a pitch on top. And this tree's damaged and it's aiming toward about 4 or 5 other ones like that are actually 6, 7 feet tall ones. So I just want to get it out of there before something happens. I don't want to disturb some of these old headstones. So.
Okay, so I think we should pass a motion to do that first with the trees.
Okay, I will make that motion that we approve cutting those trees down for $1,500 from Kunstman.
Second,
Okay, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
yes,
motion passed.
All right, well, I guess we got one other thing, the county road mileage. I didn't see that, so.
Yeah, so I'll put this out there for discussion. I'll make a motion. This came from the county engineer's office to accept the Ohio Department of Transportation 2020 Township Highway System mileage certification, with Brimfield coming in and maintaining 44.532 miles of public roads.
I'll
Need a-
second.
All right. Just so everyone's aware, at the end of 2019, we had 44.532, and they're saying at the end of 2020, we had 44.532. So we see no total mileage change. Does that sound about correct, Dave? We didn't absorb any new roads.
Yes, that sounds about right. We haven't added a few new ones that may be coming this year yet.
Okay. Yeah, this is just for 2020, what we had last year. So we didn't pick up anything new last year.
Yeah, so truthfully, the number will probably actually stay the same for the following year too, if they're a year behind on everything, so.
Mike and Sue, if we approve this, you have to come over and sign this too. Nick already signed it.
Okay.
all right,
Yeah. Mickey Marazzi needs it by the like 14th or 15th of March so that he can get it down to ODOT in time.
Okay, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue,
yes,
motion passed. Mike and Sue, I'm gonna have it over in the fiscal office on the table, or well, with Kirsten or Rochelle have it.
Okay.
okay. Mhm,
You'll have
thank
it there today, John?
Yes, I'm gonna take it over right after the meeting.
Okay.
All right. Anything else for road department? All right. Hearing none. Parks and Rec. Cassie, the floor is yours.
All right, good morning, everybody. I just have some informational pieces for the board today. The first one was we had our first meeting of the Parks Advisory Committee on the 21st. Thank you to Nick and Mike for attending. It was a really great meeting. Prior to this meeting, I asked all committee members to fill out a parks survey for Cranberry Creek, the Town Green, and Lions Park. Just giving their opinions on a scale from 1 to 10 on the various features of our parks. We had some really great feedback from that, and we're going to be using that to shape our goals for the coming year. We will also be working on a mission and vision statement for the Parks Department and some other items on our list. And our next meeting will be February 18th at 6:30 p.m. on Zoom. If anybody wants to attend, just let me know. February programs, I have a few programs. I'm trying some new things next month. I'm doing a Groundhog's Day story and activity program that will be a live program on Zoom. I'm also doing a Valentine's Day craft and another episode of Backyard Brimfield. I will also be posting a program calendar. It's already posted on our website, but I'll be posting it on social media as well. And I'll be updating this calendar. I'll be posting 2 months at a time. I was reviewing our athletic field rental policies. I'm getting a lot of requests already for the upcoming baseball season. And I had one request from a agency that wanted to rent our baseball fields every day, 7 days a week from April through June. So it made me kind of review these policies. Currently, our fields are first come, first serve, and there's no limit on the amount of dates that they can rent. So technically, if a field or if somebody wanted to come in and rent for the entire year, they could. So I'm just looking at other agencies and seeing how they handle their rental procedures and looking at reviewing those.
Do
And
we
then-
need to make a decision on that, Cassie? Because I know that group is looking to try to get that rental scheduled so they can get their games scheduled. So is that?
Yeah, I was waiting for, I was going to put something out there for you guys today, but I'm waiting for them to contact me back. So the situation is they typically use the fields at Brimfield Elementary. However, they've been closed due to COVID. I contacted Brimfield Elementary and they said they are planning on reopening the fields for spring. But this team is not sure whether that's going to happen or not. So they were looking at our field as a backup. So they were going to get back to me. They're going to meet and send me a list of dates first. So yeah, I was waiting to hear back from them before I brought anything to you.
Yeah, I would hate to see the field taken up by one team. I mean,
Right.
it's for the benefit of all Brimfield.
Hey,
So,
We also don't have a refund policy in place. Generally, what I've been doing so far is refunding if it was something on our part or if it was due to inclement weather and they contacted me before the game started. But we don't really have a policy in place if they were to book, say, 6 months worth of field time and then they decided to not use the field. We have no policy in place for that.
okay, sounds like you got to get some stuff going.
I mean,
Well, we need to keep in mind that we have finalized construction on that field as well.
Yes.
So that may cause some issues.
I need to throw an opinion in there if I can.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would hate to see a group, I'm not calling out any group, but come in and just reserve it and hold it. I would think whoever does that, they owe us money up front
Right.
before, with like Cassie said, we don't have a refund policy. We need to put something in place.
Well, and honestly, I think if a group wants to rent it for the entire season, then they have to pay for the entire season up front. And it's non-refundable unless there was something on the township's behalf, such as we had to do field maintenance and shut it down, or we had to close the park because of COVID. But if it's, we just decided we're not going to play there, well, we're not going to refund money because now we're out of other rental opportunities.
I'm afraid everybody's going to try to quickly reserve and then cancel.
Sure.
Yeah, so I think in order to secure a reservation, you would need to pay your entire cost up front, and then it's non-refundable.
I agree.
Yeah.
But going back to, as it sits, throw any group out there. I mean, typically our policy right now is first come, first serve, whoever pays can rent what they want.
Well, yeah, we already have that out there where we won't take a reservation until they cut us a check. So it's wide open if somebody else came in and gave us a check.
I just want to be careful what Nick said, though, that someone doesn't say, well, I canceled, I want my money back. Do we have anything written that says, you do not get your money back?
Right. We want that field to be used.
Right. Okay.
Yeah,
So-
as of now, we have no policy for that.
Well, and I think that's just a simple piece on the rental agreement. I think we just need to change that today, that just has a single line that says this is non-refundable.
Sure.
Yep. Yeah, it's too easy to get out of it now.
So then everything else just follows the same. First come, first serve is, whoever pays first.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Can you guys see me?
No, you went
No.
away for some reason. I think you must have hit your.
I unplugged something by mistake on my feet, so now I don't know how to get back on there. You can hear me though, right?
Yeah.
We can hear you. We just can't see you.
You don't need to see me, my ugly mug.
Okay. So I can
you
update that.
today, Cassie. Can you make sure that's on the rental agreement? It says that
There I am.
all rentals are non-refundable.
Yep. Okay. And then the last piece that I've been working on is rerouting the trails at Lions Park. If you've ever walked the trails back there, there's all kinds of twists and turns and switchbacks and things like that. So I've been working to use this app that allows me to map the area that I've walked and then upload it to Google Earth so I can see exactly where I've walked. And I'm planning a reroute that goes around where the playground would be and then cuts back through the woods, which would avoid people crossing the driveway and also ending up behind Dave's shop, because I know that's an issue too, which would just create one big, easy loop trail. So that is in the works.
Wow, that's
It would
great.
also,
Do
it
you think you could arrange a walkabout?
yeah, absolutely, anytime.
I would love to see it, and when you get it done, because it is, like you and I talked, it's crazy. Unless we
It
have
is.
we need to have a very concise trail map. And did you look into some trail markers?
Yeah, yep, I'm working on those now. That was one of the big items on the feedback from the Parks Committee survey was they went and walked the parks and looked at the parks, and a lot of them said they got lost. I'll even admit I've gotten lost back there because the trail markers that are currently there, we have a lot of them in one area, and then you make it to one end of the trail and there's none of them, or the arrows are pointing the wrong way or things like that. So yeah, new trail markers will also be a part of that.
Yeah, because basically you have two entrances over that slippery bridge and by the diamond.
Yep.
While we're talking about trails, what's your thoughts about? I know we have some areas that need to be raised. What do you think about maybe putting a price together and maybe considering having some kind of business sponsor section? Do you think?
Yeah.
Do you think that would work, or is that a waste of time? Or
no, I don't think so. Have you ever been to the Kent Bog with the raised boardwalk trail?
I have never.
You definitely should. It's really great. But what they did was they made it out of that traps material.
Yeah.
And each plank, or like every third plank or something, has a donor's name on it. So those are actually donated by individual people. I think some were businesses as well. So that's another idea. But yeah, having a donor section is definitely a thought.
I love that idea. If we could put something together, then that gets people more involved in their parks.
Yep.
If you want to put something together, I'd gladly help you contact people and stuff to do it.
Yep. Yeah.
And when you get all this mapping done, you have any indication about how long the trail will be? I know a mileage is a big thing.
Yeah, I will have to figure out. So the current trail is 1.4 miles, but that I never walk like the way that people naturally walk. That trail goes around the driveway and then up and around the volleyball courts. Nobody walks up there. I know when they're walking the trail, they're not going up and around the volleyball courts. It just doesn't really make sense. So we will lose some of the miles.
When we put that together, the one lady that was helping me suggested that we give them some climbing, or incline. So that's why we did that.
I think if we were to keep that section, we would need to actually put in some sort of trail, surface so that people would know to walk there, because naturally you just don't end up walking there. It's not a bad idea, but it's just not the way that you naturally go. Because when I walked the trail, I walked the technically correct route, and then I went back and walked the way that I actually walk, because I feel like that's the way that most people walk, just to compare the two.
Okay, but will you still have at least a mile trail?
Yeah, I think we may have cut like 0.2 miles off of it, but we should be at least a mile, if not more.
Okay, that's great.
So I was thinking about going out and hiking today. We'll see how the weather holds. I brought my layers today.
Well, let me know. I could get over there for a half an hour or so, 20. I'd love to see it.
Sure. Yeah, I haven't walked my whole reroute yet, but yeah, I'll let you know.
The just one other question. I know because I follow some people online and they get that walking stick from is there any way?
Summit County Park System.
Oh, really? So there's no way we could never have anything for Brimfield with that?
We would need more trails. We don't really have, I love the idea, but if we could, if we had more trails, it'd be easier to do. But,
could we join up with one of those groups to do it, or to be, if Cranberry Creek's trail gets going?
It's possible, yeah.
Well, I think the idea would be, Cassie, could we talk to Portage Parks District and have our trail added for their spring hike or their fall hike? Because Portage is doing the sticks and the shields also, and they just list a bunch of trails. Wonder if they'd be willing to consider placing our trail on as part of their hiking list.
Yeah, I can definitely talk to them.
Yeah, that's sort of, it brings people into the town, you know?
All right, and that's all I had for my report.
Well, that's exciting. So thank you.
All right, any other questions for Parks? All right, I just want to say that the Parks Advisory Committee meeting went really well. I was really impressed with all of our new advisory committee members, and I'm just really excited to see what they're going to put together for us here in the future. It's just good to see community getting involved in helping with the planning and the development of what's happening in our township. So great job in putting that committee together. And if they're listening out there, thank you for volunteering to be part of this. We appreciate it.
Yep.
Yep, they seem like a really good group. They're very responsive and have already been coming to me with a lot of great ideas. So looking forward to working with them.
All right. All right, that'll move us into the cemetery section. We had one deed to sign that was over at the fiscal office for everybody to sign. And then we have a request for board approval for a columbarium. I don't, Sue, are you talking on this?
Yeah, John and I are. John's the talker. I'm the puller together. And my committee of five met at the cemetery, and we looked at like 4 different possible places of putting this column. And the 5 all got together and looked at the different styles. And for our cemetery, we've chosen the one. It's a pillar shaped in an octagon, and it holds 72 niches. And John,
Yep.
you
and
can
what
go
we're-
ahead and talk about what all we did about it.
Sure. That the first columbarium is based off of our first plan that we would eventually have 2 columbarium pillars like that, and then we'll have a shelf one that we saw the examples on the Portage Marble presentation, but it would be between that. The idea of where we picked to go was probably based off of traffic, based off of the best spot in the cemetery, and based off that we have to do work there anyway. When you pull into the cemetery where the information board is, there is the big tree that's right behind that. That's one of the trees that Dave's taken down before it falls down. We did this, and Rochelle looked it up as well, and we have the list of all the lots that were right there. And there are no lots in that area that have been sold. So what we were going to do is reclaim 45, 46, 47, and 48, those lots. They're available right now, but we'll just take them off the board, and that'll be where the columbarium goes. So the process of this is that we raise that tree, and then we get all the area set up for that. We're probably going to have to put a concrete base there for so we can set all those on it. What happens with the monument, though, with the columbarium, is that Portage Marble is the one that engraves the outside of those. So if someone passed away, they know to engrave that front door, and they come out and switch the door with the blank one. So that is a real easy switch. It also makes a financial deal for the resident of Brimfield Township. It's cost $800 for everything, for the columbarium, for the buried, the engraving, all that kind of stuff. It currently, if you were going to bury somebody at cremains in the cemetery with opening and closings and buying the lot and buying a tombstone, you're in the $1,500 to $2,000 range right there. So I think just from an economics perspective, some people in Brimfield will go that option to buy there because that's what they can afford. But when we get done, we hopefully have 2 of those pillars and a level one, kind of like the one over at Standing Rock, but a little bit larger. So we're going to start with one. One cost almost $30,000 bucks. By the time we're done filling that, we would have paid for that and have enough money to go buy the second one. Pretty much double the cost of, or the profit covers the next purchase of another columbarium. So we would need to start with just one, but we'll have the space ready for 3. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Is this,
We also talked about in that same area to put in a couple park benches so that people would be able to sit, and it'd be right across from the pond. little pond.
Yep.
So I think we'd make a good place to maybe plant some flowers and soften up the area a little bit.
Does the $30,000 proposal include the concrete work for the base for this sit on, or is that just the cost of the columbarium?
That's just the cost of the columbarium. We don't know how much that will cost for the concrete and what we would need to do there. That is something that Dave and I talked about, and we think we should hire somebody out. Is that correct, Dave?
Yeah, it all depends on what your plans are. You know, what I mean, if it's just the columbarium just needs a footer, we could probably do the footer ourselves when we do foundations. But if it's, if it's a big lotted area with concrete and stuff, we probably need somebody else in there.
Yeah, I think we were envisioning there that it was going to be a big pad.
I'd like to see just an idea. If we're going to do a big pad, I'd like to see them do the stamped concrete there, so it gives it that look.
Sure.
A flat spot for the columbarium, and then stamped concrete with a brick look to it or whatever, and the stained top. I think it would make it look.
My mom keeps calling. Can you call her?
That's good.
Okay. Well, we haven't even got to that point with that. So Nick, yeah, that's a great idea. We should, in how we decorate that there, or what even if, I don't know, do we build a retaining wall around the outside of it, behind it? Those are things that we have to figure out down the road. But
Well, Kevin from Portage Monument, he met there with us also. And since that's his expertise, I think that would be something that we need to discuss with him as what would be better.
that'd be
Okay.
locked up, Sue.
I'd like to make a motion to purchase one of these columbariums through Portage Marble. And it's what, $30,000?
Yeah, 29,000 and change here.
Yeah.
29,461.
I'll second for discussion.
So this is a piece that we've been setting aside money in the cemetery budget anyways for. So we had the funding there to at least get the columbarium purchased. I think it's a great idea. I would just like to see maybe by the next meeting a game plan of what the pads are going to look like, so we can just start to see those additional costs that we'll have to absorb there. Because obviously we need to get that pad done before the columbarium arrives. So,
Well, and what we'll need to do with that first, Nick, there's some work there. We'll have to get the trees out to see what the ground actually looks like and where we can put all that, because there's a big stump in there too. We'll start thinking about it, but next meeting we won't have a design for us yet. We'll kind of
Okay.
have to see what Dave, how long does Kuntzman think before he's going to be out there?
I didn't even ask him that. I'll call him after the meeting's done to let him know it's cleared to go.
Okay.
So,
Okay. All right. Well, we'll keep you updated, Nick and Mike. But as soon as we find out what that spot's going to look like and how much room we actually need, then we'll be able to get a cost for the concrete pad and what we can do to it.
okay.
Okay.
Do you want me to withdraw my motion pending the other information coming in,
No.
or?
No,
No.
we're buying the
No.
columbarium.
Yeah, no, I'm good with the columbarium. I just wanted to see what what additional pieces we'll have after that. So,
Okay.
I think we move forward.
All right. All those in favor? Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
yes.
Sue.
Yes,
All right. Motion passed. Thank you, guys.
thank you.
Good job, Sue.
Thank you.
All right. Any other updates, Sue, on the cemetery?
No, not at this time.
Okay, thank you. Fiscal office, you have advances?
Yeah, I need to do 2021 advances from Portage County. So I just need an approval to request advances for our draw.
I'll make a motion to accept to request the 2021 advances from Portage County for our draw.
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue.
Yes,
Okay, motion passed. Thank you.
All right. No executive sessions planned. Anything for the good of Brimfield Township? All right. Hearing none, I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second.
Hey, all those in favor, Mike,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sue.
yes.
Okay, we are adjourned at 9:19.